That's crazy. Okay. Well, if I truly want to, I guess I could go live with someone. But I'm pretty sure everybody I know is probably in bed. Okay, let's see. Depends on when you count snack food. I guess pineapple lumps from New Zealand. So, uh, I can only get like I can only get them when Uncle Anthony comes around, and my uncle, he's from New Zealand, and he brings these little pineapple lumps. Those are always really fun. I can cook probably a simple spaghetti meal. I don't know how to cook very much, but I think I can follow a basic simple recipe, a basic pasta meal or something. You know, I think I could do that. Um, but yeah, I think that's the best meal I can cook. One person, living or dead, who would it be? Huh. I don't know. I'm not sure. That one I'm gonna have to think about. One person, living or dead. Um, I think I would choose to personally have it with um a person I love, and I call that person Melody. Yeah. Um, she I would love to just constantly have dinner with her. She's so sweet, so kind. Living or dead, and like I could have dinner with any celebrity, any historical figure, I would choose Melody. Is that stupid to say? Hopefully not. Um, one I can never choose. I love dogs for certain reasons because like they like run around, they're playful, they're I own a dog right now. I love dogs. Dogs are one of my favorite. But cats, I also am obsessed with cats. I love watching the goofy videos. I've always wanted a cat even when I was little. Cats, I've just had a good relationship. One of my grandma's cat, I enjoyed just cuddling up to my grandma's cat all the time and just enjoying their presence. Um so I don't comparing cats or dogs, I would have to say both. That one is a decision I cannot decide. And I know you can have them naturally as pets. I've seen before. But owls, I love them. They just seem so goofy. Just a little goofy goobers. And having that in my house, heck yeah. Little goofy goobers in my house. Love talking. I can talk people's ear off. And and I'm super hyperactive and I'm crazy. I act like an extrovert. And if people were to take one look at me, they would just say extrovert. But the reason I say introvert is despite all of that, I still get really drained from just talking to people. I don't know if that's an uncommon experience, but it's an experience I've always had. I don't know. Strange talent. I don't know. I don't really have any weird talents. I can draw. I can I don't know. It's I don't really have anything that people would say is a talent, but people would also say is weird. People might say that I'm really annoying, but I wouldn't count that as a talent. Um, uh, I can be really loud at times. I don't know if that counts as a talent though. So strangest talent dream I remember. Let me think. I had a dream. Um, I think in elementary school. Um, and I know it said last dream, but this is like the first dream that like came up into my head. So I had a dream in middle school that I was sitting next to my friend and we were driving a car. And since I was in elementary school and around, I think, sixth grade, I was a little bit freaked out because I was like, I don't have my license. I don't know how to drive. Why am I driving a car? What what am I doing? And and the car was just going really fast. Like I couldn't slow down the car. I tried pressing the brakes, I tried doing everything, and I was freaking out. I did not know where I was, how I got there, and and there was this person next to me in my dream, which I think was like one of my friends. Um, and she was constantly telling me, "Slam on the brakes, slam on the brakes," and I kept trying to slam on the freaking brakes. Um, and it just wouldn't work. And I thought maybe it's because I don't know how to drive a car. Maybe like if I press the other brake, maybe like not other brake, but like if I press the other pedal, it would be the brake. And so I tried pressing that. Didn't work. Just it, honestly actually it moved faster. And so I'm like, okay, well at least I found the gas. Um and then we finally found a way to stop the car in the drain. And and then the car just like it was on the hill and it felt like a cartoon show at that point because the car just on that hill just started going down as fast as possible. And then I think we crashed into the ocean and I was quickly woken up and I was freaking terrified and I went to go tell Rachel, who was my friend at the time that I had in the dream, all about the dream, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, that is so crazy. I literally had around the same dream last night, but I was the passenger. So I don't know, crazy, wild dream that we both had together. Um, I think I talked about this one before with someone. I had a dream where I spent my whole lifespan and like and I was in high school at the time. I spent like my whole lifespan in this dream. And and I was a grown adult. And I was living in an apartment. Of course, there were some struggles, but um we were all very happy. I was with all of my friends, and when I looked in the mirror, I had fully like transitioned into a man, and I don't know. I was happy. I was talking to people, and it wasn't nothing crazy happened in the dream. It was just a basic average life. There was some downfalls, there were some highs, there were some lows, but I was happy because I was with all my friends and people I cared about in an apartment, in a body that I enjoyed being in, and it made me happy. Um, I and then I just like and then I think I proposed to one of my like lovers at the time, and um and then we got married, and it felt like life was going so fast, flashing across my eyes, and then I woke up and I was like, that was a dream. That didn't happen. It wasn't real. And honestly, it became the worst dream after that. It went from the best dream to the worst dream because I woke up and started questioning my reality because it was like I had an entire lifespan in that one dream, and now I don't know what's real anymore. Um, like, was that entire life just a dream? Like, what? Felt like a movie scene where you're like, you spent a whole life and then like you wake up and it's like, it's all just a dream. And it was like weird Labor Day kind of situation. I don't know. It's crazy. What are some conspiracy theories? Hold up. That's fair to just kind of think about. But Do people believe that? We're sucked into a black hole because it would just turn us all into dust. That is it like those like space theories where it's like a wormhole or something like that? I don't know. I can't wrap my head around it. I don't know. What is frozen? Get it. I don't get it. I don't get not the Matrix. direction. They have to somehow, I don't I don't know. You know what? I kinda wish that more people would go to space. Going to space seems really fun. Um, okay. Crabs like meat, at least not human meat. I don't think that's in their nature. Conspiracy theory is the Loch Ness monster one because I just like the Loch Ness. Imma skip that one. Um, oh, sorry. On the show. Some reality TV is really good. I do like some reality TV shows. Like, Modern Family, that's a good reality TV show. Some reality TV shows, are kinda boring. Imma be so for real. So I guess it depends on the I would say so. I've gotten really interested in the Owl House, like Luz. I loved Luz. I'm probably saying the name wrong. I'm probably butchering the name, but it's like the simple, most easy English American name, and I'm still butchering it. Um, I'm like that one guy in that thing. It's like the substitute teacher. Aaron. Yeah, that's me. Um, I also got really invested in My Hero Academia for a while, and then I guess and then Spy X Family, and then One Piece, and then just a lot of different things. Um, I guess it really all depends. I get different hyperfixation and why. I don't know. There's a lot of characters out there. Some are really similar to me, some are not at all. Some I would like to be. I Mirabelle is a good one for me because I sometimes feel like everybody in my house has these special talents and gifts, while I'm just left with nothing, not fully understanding everyone. Um, and I feel like the family dynamic is a lot like mine. Of course, mine doesn't really have um that type of heritage, but like it does kind of have that like strong pressure of my mom struggled lot, so she wants to make sure everyone else doesn't struggle, but in return kind of hurts us slightly in the process. Watched one. That depends on the movie. I feel like that depends on the movie because if the movie was if the movie was something I really 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 want to watch, I would watch it on the movies because it's really nice. If it's something that would be like I'm not really super invested, I probably would wait till it goes into streaming services. Hang out with people was always such a great memory for me as a kid, and I don't want that to be lost with other people, you know? For me right now, just the scene of when I realized that I really liked Melody. Um, I won't say her real name, and I won't show you who it is, but um, yeah, just that one person in general has made my whole life just so much better, so lovely and so amazing. And I'm purposely talking about this at like 12:50 because I know if she saw the stream, she would keep going over to me and being like, "Oh my gosh, you're so cute and so sweet." Though I'm not that. um Too annoying around them. Um Spotify, I say the pros is that it's free, you can use it whenever, but there's a bunch of ads. Apple Music, you have to pay for, but you can listen to a bunch of music free. Spotify, you can get a lot of music that's probably not even on um Apple Music, and Apple Music, sometimes you can get songs that you can't find on Spotify. Sometimes it is easier to just play and listen to on Apple. Sometimes it's easier to play and listen to on Spotify. It really all just depends on what you're looking for. Sometimes the system and the way it's functioned, I would prefer some parts of Apple Music better than Spotify, and some parts of Spotify's functions that I prefer rather than Apple Music. Um, so it's really I'm just in between on that. Uh, been through a bunch. He makes amazing music. I have no hate towards him, so anything I say that comes out of my mouth here, don't take with a take with a grain of salt, because it is nothing towards the actual music artist itself. It is more towards my personal feelings. Um, I wouldn't say opinions, because my personal opinions is I really like the music. I really like the dude. I enjoy his I enjoyed his music in a time period, but I just kind of stopped listening to his music because it makes me feel weird. Not because of him, not because of anything he did, but because of something someone else did. They kind of just ruined my perspective of his music for me. Um, Not because of the person himself, but just because it reminds me of someone else, and it hurts to yeah. Anyway, or does the person have to already be dead, or is this assuming that if this person was in danger, they would be dead? I'm gonna assume if the person was in danger. If somebody was in danger, I'm gonna say, like I always say, always. I don't think I'm embarrassed. Other people are stereotypically cringy music, but I don't think are cringy, because the nice thing about nowadays is that even though there's a lot of people who hate on a lot of things, but there's a really easy way to find your community with a lot of different people and a lot of different things. So, sure, you might find someone who just hates, hates like, I don't know, CG5, and thinks he's the worst person and thinks he's the cringiest music to ever listen to, ever. And, um, and that is totally valid, but, you can easily just as easily as you can find those people, you can find people who are obsessed with the artist and who will support the artist thick and thin. So I would say none of them have in this day and age is really cringy. I would say that some of my music is a stereotypical cringe music, but I don't think nowadays it's actually cringy to listen to. I don't know. That's my perspective because even if I look back in my past and I listen to some music that I personally would never listen to again and it was kind of embarrassing, uh, I wouldn't fully cringe at it though because I don't know, it's just something that happened in my life and it's that was about this girl being put in this concentration camp and I think she was like Jewish and they had a whole story where they had to convince them to get out of there. I don't remember the exact book's name, but at the time it was really interesting for me because it gave me a perspective of what to do if things in history don't change. Um, art stuff. I don't know. me personally. Not saying that they never tried to do anything. I was always a little bit surprised whenever they would give me birthday gifts or something like that, or remember their birthday cake because I think one year they forgot. Um, and that still sticks with the child. Anyway, um, but yeah, I I want to do anything something super specific. Summer, I would rather die of uh just because Halloween, autumn vibes, fall, you know. It's my biggest bother because sometimes I don't want to hear that that it's just fine. I want to hear no, I understand. Like if you're upset, you're upset. You know, I feel like that's fair. Well, it's all fine. I guess they're trying to cheer me up. But sometimes it just frustrates me because it's like, okay, I know everything's fine, but it doesn't feel fine, and that's the problem. bad. I would rather people ex- I would rather my friends expect me to do amazing things than assume I can't do anything. But it also unknowingly also puts a lot of pressure on me to try to do something great. And when I don't make it, it just I beat myself up a lot. And it's not anyone's fault. It's mostly mine. But I think just sometimes even just looking and seeing how some form of art just makes people react, or being given a gift of something makes people just have this really strong reaction, or like somebody start finally looking and realizing and having the feeling of I finally made it. Those are always looks of like, oh, I finally believe in myself. Like I think that is something I've always would want to see, you know?